guys, welcome back to the Zoe and family. Today it's a bit raining, so that's why we're starting the vlog in the tent. And my dad's just going in the house to get his coffee. So we're going to talk about what we've done in the summer holidays. Agnes, you go first.
So, yesterday I got glitter in my hair and a Loch Ness and stuff and landmark.
What's your favourite?
Probably landmark.
Joseph, you go.
I love landmark.
Come on, just say hi in the video.
Yes.
Would you like the word to see all the fishes and find all the fishes?
And then. And by the way, I've got my hair done. Loch Ness.
One of your favourites was Loch Ness.
Yeah.
And Florence's favourite was the swimming, wasn't it?
And my favourite was the swimming.
Yeah. And Leah's favourite was?
My favourite was the swimming and the waves. Because the waves blew the balls away.
Leah, what's your favourite?
My favourite was the swimming, going to the hotel and going to the aquarium.
What's going on in here?
We're talking about what our favourite was.
All right, I've got my coffee.
Holidays. And my favourite was going swimming, going to the hotel, and going to Landmark and the Duff Aquarium.
What have you been chatting about? Dare I ask? Mummy's outside as well. She's putting the washing out.
That's what our favourite was.
Have you been chatting then, have you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Shall I take over?
Yeah.
All right, say bye then.
Bye.
How funny is that? They've just taken over. They totally stole my thunder, taking over the entire vlog. How you doing, guys? Welcome back to the Zoe family. Yes, it's Saturday, guys. Zoe is at the moment doing the washing. Oh, she was. She's gone now. She's just put the washing out at the moment. It's about 10ish, about 10:30 in the morning. Obviously, we've been getting up a lot later in the mornings. I say a lot later, but we've been getting up about 6:30, 7 o'clock. So for us, that's like a massive lie-in. I know we talked about that on the live last night. Really, really good fun, the live last night. I think me and Zoe, we spoke about it after. We kind of like, I know we ask everybody for questions before the live, but I quite like doing the live when it's just, we'll just see how it goes. I think I really like that. Obviously still do shout out requests, but I mean, as far as questions goes, I think we'll just, all right, monkey?
Yeah.
Are you okay? We'll just we'll just go for it and see what questions come up on the night and have a chat, because it was a lot more fun. So you see, this is the thing with YouTube, and this is the thing with social media and yourself as a person and everything else. Yeah.
What's your favourite thing of summer holidays?
My favourite thing of the summer holidays, having you lot home, having Team Sullivan at home, so we can go and do things and have some fun. Yeah, all that. Yeah, I was having a moment then. Yeah, all right. Yeah, you kind of you muddle your way through learning as you go with social media, with YouTube, with Facebook, with Instagram, and all that stuff. And especially with lives, like we haven't been doing lives that long, really. We've only been doing lives. Don't break the tent, darling, with the bike. Don't break the tent. We haven't been doing lives that long in the grand scheme of things. I know we do one every week, pretty much. But they're great fun, and I guess we learn with lives as well, and we'll modify it as we go along, and some things will work and some things won't, and that's how you kind of learn with social media and YouTube and all that good stuff. So you're constantly learning, like you're constantly learning as a parent, like you're constantly learning all the way through your life. You never know it all, ever. There's always stuff to learn. There's always new things you find out. There's always new experiences. It's just life, innit? It's just life, especially in this game of social media. So what are we doing today? Right, as the title suggests, Zoe and I are going to have a good catch up with you later about some decisions we made. I know we touched on it. I touched on that on the live last night as well, to do with Joseph and Florence and potentially some of the other children as well. Yes, darling?
I think you're going to have to fix Agnes's bike.
We've already talked about that. I have got like a whole weekend of bike fixing to do.
It's making a sound. Look.
What are they shouting?
Hear it.
What's happened to it now?
I don't know.
Why is the baby naked? What's happened to your t-shirt?
She got wet.
What's happened to your t-shirt?
How?
Help! Hang on a second.
I thought
Okay, so we've traded a t-shirt for her coat, so at least she's warm. Because believe me, today it's not very warm at all today here in Birkhead, and it's very windy, and it wasn't forecast, but we had rain this morning. Was I talking about bikes then? I think I was talking about bikes. Yeah, bikes. I've got a whole weekend of bike fixing coming up at some point, I swear, but that's not going to be today. Yeah, that's it. I was talking about schooling. So me and Zoe are going to have a long blather with you later about some decisions that we've made, some major. Do you know what? And it's one of the things that, you know, everybody's got their own opinion about homeschooling, schooling, and all this kind of stuff.
no.
But we're gonna make
My friend.
All right, darling, you're fine. But we've made some decisions as parents for ourselves. And we've made these decisions not lightly. We've not made these decisions easily. You know, either way, school or not school, homeschool, and they're not easy decisions to make. And everybody's got their own opinion. But at the end of the day, we're the parents. We have to make the decision, and we have to work with that decision that we've made. So that's where we are with it at the moment. But we're going to talk about all that later on. I know Zoe's got a bit of cleaning to do this morning, a few jobs to catch up on. Yeah, so we'll shelve that there for now, and we'll talk about that a bit later on. The other thing I was going to do, yes, darling?
Someone broke my brake.
We've got total bike gate going on at the moment. I don't know what's happened to the bikes. Yeah, in the last 2 weeks, you seem to have broken every bike that we own. Yeah?
It wasn't me.
At least the bell works. Yeah, at least the bell works.
I know.
Where was I go? Yeah. So I was going to take the tent down today, but it's rained this morning, and I'm not putting the tent down wet. But this is the conundrum now: is that summer's coming. Yes, darling.
Can we take the tent down tomorrow?
I don't know. I wanted to take the tent down today, so I'll see if the tent dries. If the tent's dried by later, I'll take it down. Only I'm starting to get worried that we're coming to the end of summer, and things change in Scotland rapidly. Like you have your summer, and then all of a sudden it's winter, and it's like proper Scottish winter. That's why we take the trampoline down as well, because believe me, the winds that you get in the summer are nothing compared to the winds you get in the winter. So we need to take the trampoline down, reset the garden for winter, get everything tidied up, packed away. Otherwise things get busted, and I don't want to be paying out for a whole nother trampoline next year and all that stuff, because the trampoline is perfectly sound. It just needs putting away, and now I've tidied the shed, I could fit it in a shed, because last year I left it outside the shed and it got covered in beasties and mud, and so I think that's what I'll do this year. But I'm not taking the trampoline down to the last minute, because the kids love it. So I may well take the tent down today. I don't know if we're going to go out anywhere or do anything like that today. I'm not too sure. I think we're going to suck it and see today, see what happens. The kids are outside playing at the moment because the rain has stopped, which is good. Me and Zoe were saying this morning as well, they've got to the point, it's really nice, this time of the summer holidays is really nice, because the children have settled down and they're comfortable and they're happy in their own skin, and they can just go outside and play and all that kind of thing, you know. It takes them quite a few weeks to settle down and calm down from having school, but it's really nice because they can just go and play now. Yeah, we did go out yesterday. We went out yesterday to the shops. That was good fun. The little ones loved that. But no, we'll just see what happens today. Let's see if I can take this tent down. I'm not sure. Let's hope it doesn't rain anymore today. But yes, news to come later on. Okay guys, so it's been quite a busy morning actually. Managed to get, and what time is it now?
Morning, it's 2:15.
It's 2:15 in the afternoon. The day's flown, guys. Managed to get a shelf up in Toby's room and do a few other bits like that, and the kids have been playing out in the garden.
I've been trying to get the boys' room clean, but there is just an awful lot of stuff.
Toby likes to keep stuff. He likes to keep lots of stuff, bless him.
I have to kind of just take it out bit by bit because he knows what he's got in there. But like, you know, nobody needs empty bread bags.
I don't know why he keeps that.
So I have to kind of, there's a lot of stuff to sort through.
Bless him.
I'm still not finished, but it looks better than it did before.
Definitely. Right, so basically, as the video description might allude to, we've made quite a few decisions regarding school, regarding Joseph, and Florence is involved in that. And at the moment, we're looking and debating about Eva at the moment. Eva's been struggling at school. But the main decision that we've made is, and believe me when I say, this is morning after morning discussing, thinking about the best options, researching. This isn't, as you'll know if you followed us for ages, this isn't an instant decision that we've made off the cuff. This is a decision that we've talked about so much, haven't we?
Oh, Roger.
So much. Not just about school, about Joseph and Florence, about the older ones, about how like school for some people is amazing. School for some people, like Elizabeth, who's our first obviously, she aced school, came out with A's, A's in everything pretty much.
I think the thing is with the education system and schooling is if you are academic and follow the rules and do all of that sort of stuff and need that kind of pathway
structure,
yeah,
isn't it?
It's great. School is great. School will work for you, and we've seen it from all sides now. We've seen it from having students that excel at school, students that struggle at school. Also, the school system now isn't the same as it was when we first started putting kids through school. So back when the older girls started school, I wouldn't have even thought about homeschooling. And I know after the pandemic, everybody thought about homeschooling more. I know there was people that homeschooled before that. I never even thought that there was another choice. You know, you are told, we all went to school, you're told you put your children to school. It's kind of what everybody does. You all follow the rules of the country that, you know, are laid out to you. That's what you do because that's what you're supposed to do. Obviously, lots has changed in the last 20 years or 15 years since we started putting kids to school. And since, I don't know what's going on in there.
It's Florence. She is being supervised.
She's playing Kaplunk or something. Since the pandemic especially, the education system, and it's nothing to do with the people, the teachers or anything in the schools, they're all trying their best. I mean, the majority of teachers...
Mommy, what's happened?
Oh no, what happened?
I don't know what happened.
Did you knock something over?
Broken.
I don't know, is it broken?
It's broken. What's broken?
I'll come and look in just a second. Is Isabel going to help you?
We'll come and look in 2 seconds, darling, alright?
Yeah, since the pandemic, everything has changed. And like I said, the majority of teachers that we come across have been brilliant. They've tried their best.
And are trying their best.
Yeah, you're always going to get a few that you disagree with, or a few that maybe...
have different ideas, I
whatever.
suppose. Yeah.
But the majority have always... they try their best. But the system is not working. The system is broken, as with everything else. I don't like the sound of that. That sounds like a lot of marbles and stuff. But anyway, like I said, a lot has changed in the last 20 years since we've started putting kids to school. And I don't know whether it's age, whether it's just because we've had lots of children. I don't have the same faith in the government, the same faith in the education system, the same faith in any of it that I used to have. And like I said, if you are the kind of person that needs school, that wants that structure, that is a rule follower, that is academic, all that sort of stuff, it's great. If we'd only ever had Elizabeth, I never would have known of any problems in the schooling system.
No.
But having had other kids go through, that haven't, have struggled and haven't done as well, haven't had their needs met, I think. Haven't had their needs met at all. There was a lot of promises made after the pandemic that they would help get kids up to speed. They didn't, and kids were just left. And there's a whole generation of kids that were exam sitting at that time, and in crucial years at that time, that just kind of will become the COVID kids, and they were just forgotten about. And that has a knock-on effect. But again, at the end of the day, yes, education is important, but education isn't only academic. Education's not just going to school, learning maths, learning English, learning the things that you're told to learn. Our kids learn all the time, all day, every day. They learn when they're out and about playing, they learn when we take them out walking, they learn in the kitchen, they learn all of the other skills that they learn. School education isn't just school. And that is, I think that's the things nowadays. Some of the things that I think are important aren't taught at schools anymore.
No.
They're not, like things for me like the arts and creativity and all those sorts of things. They're not thought highly of enough at school anymore. It's got to be English, it's got to be maths, it's got to be
science is STEM,
but
which is fine.
Whilst they're all important things, it's not everything, and not every kid is going to be good at English, maths and science. And if they're not, up here, especially in Scotland, I feel that the other subjects are not so easy to access. They're not so, they're underfunded, understaffed. They don't seem to be as important, and they are important if that's the way that you want to go in life. So
it's definitely a struggle. I mean, this isn't a dig at the schools per se. This isn't a dig
they're fighting
at
against the same
teachers.
stuff.
This isn't a dig at any of that. What it's a dig at is lack of funding, lack of.
That's not their fault. I know
all those
teachers
sorts of
that
things.
have tried really hard to get access to equipment for kids in our schools, and they can't because there isn't any funding.
And they have the wrong skill of teacher teaching the wrong subject because there's nobody to teach that subject.
Too often that happens.
There wasn't any cooking or catering, was there? Because there was nobody to teach it.
So I know there's going to be substitute teachers. There always was, but I'm talking like for a whole term.
Yeah.
And
so really what we're trying to say is we've thought long and hard, and I mean, if you've followed us for a long time, you'll know that this subject has cropped up. We've talked about it, we've thought about it, it's gone away. No, we're not gone away for us, but we haven't talked about it on YouTube. It's always there in the background, and we've made a rock solid decision now not to send Joseph to school, and we're not going to send Florence to school either. What I mean,
we're not going to send Florence to nursery. If the time comes and we think that she needs to go to school.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, so not, and I don't mean to keep them from school forever. What I'm saying is, if there comes a point where we think Joseph is ready to go to school,
or wants to
go to school, then maybe we'll reintroduce him to the school system. But at the moment, with how Joseph is, it's not going to do him any favours.
It's not a forever decision either.
No.
You can, just because you deregister your child doesn't mean that at some point along the way
they can't go back
put them back into the school system.
Yeah.
I mean, there isn't as much support for homeschooling here, but you do obviously have the right to deregister your child. And I know that there'll be lots of people say that he needs to go to school and all of that sort of stuff, but nobody knows him
as well as we do.
There's a lot of stuff we don't share about Joseph.
Yes.
And also, our voices go very unheard when it comes to Joseph. We've been waiting for a second assessment appointment for him for over a year. The system, again, is underfunded, understaffed. There's not enough. The waiting lists are absolutely humongous. Really, the only reason we would need a definitive diagnosis for him is to send him to school so that he could get the help that he needs. I mean, there could be that he needs more help later on in life, so we're still going through the process.
Yes.
But we have done a lot of learning as a family over
Yes.
the last 3 years, especially, of his triggers, how to help him,
Yeah.
how to help him to learn.
But we've also listened to you guys as well when you've given us advice. I remember there was one vlog that we did, and we went to Duffers Castle just down the road, and it was the middle of winter, and Joseph got cold. He refused to put his coat on, and in the end we gave in. We went home, didn't we? Do you
Obviously
remember?
just wouldn't stop
And it was an
moving.
absolute disaster because he was trying to open the door. I had to put the child locks on the car, all that sort of stuff. And from that point, you know, we talked about it on the vlogs, and loads of you guys at home, you gave us your advice, and we know there's lots of people that follow us that have children with additional needs, and your advice is a godsend, to be honest. And we've listened to a lot of your advice, and a lot of the things that you have in place for your children, we've put in place for Joseph. And
So many people have given
he's
us
so
so many ideas of things to do, more so than any of the professionals
Yeah,
who don't give any help
definitely.
or guidance. You're literally just left
Yeah.
fishing around in the dark, not knowing what you should be
With
doing,
Google.
what you shouldn't be doing. So the help and advice, I mean, obviously we've had the negative, and obviously we'll get the negative on here saying that we should be doing this, but at the end of the day, these are our children.
Yes.
We will make the decisions.
We will.
But the amount of people that have come out with help and suggestions has been incredible, and believe me, there's been so many little things that we've gone, I didn't even think of that, you know, and they have all these little things. Anybody with children with autism or ADHD or any additional needs know how finite things need to be. It can be something, I was watching something the other day, there was a girl with autism, and it was on a TikTok or something, I can't remember, and I think it was you that showed me actually.
Yep.
The cafe, the place they went to every single week
To get an
as
ice
a routine
lolly.
to get an ice lolly, the cafe was closed, and she couldn't understand why she couldn't have an ice lolly. Now, for most people, you know, neurotypical children, yes, they'd be upset, but you'd be able to talk them round. For children who everything has to be just so, it's that one little tiny thing that can ruin the rest of the day, that will just
We've
throw
had
them
it
out.
ourselves.
And we have it every single day.
Yeah.
Every single day there will be something. I think you don't notice quite as much as people, as a family, because you deal with it all the time, and you kind of know ways to either get around it or just to get through it, or some days there is no getting around it or getting through it, and you just have to, you know, just get through the day, get them to bed, and hope that the next day is better. But it's the tiny little things that wouldn't have any effect on us. If I'm too hot or too cold, I'll take my coat off or I'll put a jumper on. If Joseph gets too hot or too cold, that's all he can think about.
there was a
He
prime
can't
there was a
function,
prime
he
example,
can't.
if you remember. So we'd basically stayed in the hotel overnight. Joseph did amazingly well throughout the night, and then he slept in his bed in the hotel. But the next morning, it started at breakfast. He was totally out of his routine. He refused to eat anything downstairs, but fortunately we'd brought
We'd taken
some
food with us
fruit
for him
and
'cause
food
we
with
knew.
us for him, so
We knew he
he
wouldn't eat.
so he drank some juice with us while we had breakfast at the hotel. But from then on,
Because
it
everything
was
different.
meltdown after meltdown after meltdown, which we don't film because we don't think it's fair on Joseph to totally film all the meltdowns and all that
No,
kind
it's
of
not,
stuff.
and plus I don't want
No.
to, but it is, you know, you do quite a lot go on days like that, where
Yes.
it's meltdown after meltdown after meltdown, and you just pick up and you start
You
again.
have to kind
but
of-
it can be over this tiniest
Yeah.
little thing. You know, hungry, if he's hungry, most of us will go, I'm really hungry, you know, I can't wait to have my dinner or whatever, or get a snack. For Joseph, it takes over everything. All his thinking is then about him being hungry. He can't cope with all the rest of the stuff that goes on, and I can't put him in a position to go to school when he is not going to cope in that environment.
No.
He's not going to cope. He is not ready, and
No.
he's not. Now, I deferred him for a year, which I was allowed to do, obviously within the school system. He is not ready to cope with that. And yes, some of you might say, well, I'm sure he'd get into a routine in the end. Maybe he would.
Forced into a
Maybe he
routine.
wouldn't. You know, he enjoys the little things that he does now. He's happy.
Yeah.
He started to learn things through us, and I'm not going to put him into a system that I think will be so overwhelming to him. All it's going to do is just, his brain is just not going to be able to cope with it, and it's just going to be overwhelm after overwhelm after overwhelm,
Yeah.
which is going to get nobody anywhere. He's not going to learn in that environment. you know, as a family, it's not going to, he'll come home and it will just be might keep it together at school, and then he'll come home and it will just be explosive. So, you know,
but it's
we
also,
won't
but
have
it's
that
also
lovely time with him either.
But it's also getting him into school. I mean, when he went through his trial days at the school in Ossiemouth, he lasted 10 minutes at a time, and even then that was a struggle. And I know the teachers said, "Come on, Mr. Southern, out you come." So we left him in the room, and I said, "Look, I know Joseph, and I know that he's not gonna." Freud. I know Joseph, and I know that he's not going to last in the classroom.
No.
And she said, "Well, just give him a chance," and all that. And in the end, he had a complete meltdown, and the teacher came and found me, and that happened every single time. So rather than going through all that process again,
I just don't feel it's necessary.
No,
I don't feel it's necessary.
Yeah,
and some people will say, "Oh yeah, they must do this." I don't feel that they must.
But he's also
maybe one time years ago, I would have gone along with what the system says, and the system says I must do this, so I must take them. I've done it, taking them to school every day, when really in the back of my mind I thought they don't want to be here and I shouldn't be doing this, but I've done it because that's what I've thought I should be doing, because that's what people told me I should be doing, and that's what society says I should be doing, and that's what the government says I should be doing. I now know that I don't have to do those things, and I now know I don't have to put myself or the family or that child in that position. So I will do what I think is best.
Definitely.
We will do what we think is best for him. Definitely. And what is best for him at the moment is to be at home. We will put a plan together. We will, you know.
We've already been doing it, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
he's already good. He's already good at his ABCs. He can write his name. He knows his numbers. So we're already on that journey. You
see, one of the things that Joseph struggles with is his fine motor skills.
Yes, he does.
So things like writing and stuff like that, he can just about write a little bit, can't he? But
yes.
He struggles to hold his pencil, hold his pen. He struggles very much, and I've said this to the specialists and whatever a million times, but again, I don't feel like anybody listens. So it's those sorts of things that we will work on with him, like Definitely. We do now. But he gets very, very upset when you try and work on these things, so we have to do it in a way that suits him.
We've been doing it in the way that in the garden we've been getting sticks, and we've been doing things and doing those sorts of things.
I know they do a lot of that in P1 anyway,
yes.
Doing it in the sand and all that, but there's no reason why we can't do that at home. So, and if in the future he says he wants to go to school, then we'll look at it again. But for right now, it's the decision is made, and that is him staying at home.
I mean, it's so the decision on Joseph is made, and we're going to keep Florence out of nursery and keep her at home as well.
She was never going to go to nursery anyway.
No,
I didn't send Agnes. I didn't send Joseph.
No,
and I'm not going to send her. She doesn't need to go to nursery. I don't want her to go to nursery. Nothing against the nurseries, but that place could be taken up by somebody that needs that place.
Exactly.
She's fine home here with us. So.
But we're also thinking long on other terms. We're thinking about some of the high schoolers are struggling. So we're also looking into what we can do to help them as well. But that's for another day. That's for another discussion, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, there are a couple of other children that I may well to register from school as well.
And
if I don't feel that they're getting the benefits of the system, then what's the point in being in it?
Yeah.
So yeah.
But there you go, guys. That's the update from us. That's set in stone now. So Joseph won't be going to school with the rest, but we will definitely be homeschooling him, and we'll be starting from the get-go, won't we? Yeah. Hey, Jojo. Definitely. Right, guys. Now it's car runs, people to go to work, and all that stuff, and we're going to go to the shop. So I'll catch up with you in a bit.
no.
What are they doing on that trampoline? All right, Flo? She's all right, she's got a nice lolly. So that's it, guys. That is it. So, yes, darling?
Go swimming.
You're going swimming?
Yeah.
No way. She's going swimming. Yeah, I just thought I'd take them out for a walk, go to the Scott Mid. I want to get a lottery ticket. So I thought, you know what? It's the last weekend of the holidays. Let's let them get some more sweeties, even though they had Sweetie Friday yesterday. Just another little bit of a treat for them. She's happy as Larry. She had a lolly down the shop, but she's blagged her ice lolly as well. Bless her. She's happy as Larry. So yeah, there you go, guys. That's a bit of an update from me and Zoe. Zoe's now doing the runs to and fro work. Noah's just gone to work, and Olivia's going to work as well in a minute. So yeah, it's just been one of those days today. What we wanted to do was just to clear up exactly what we're doing with Joseph and Florence. The other kids are, you know, we're looking at it every day, and me and Zoe talk about these things all the time. Every morning when we get up in the morning, we talk about what you got.
Daddy.
What is it? What is it? Is it a spider?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a spider. No. Yeah, we talk about these things all the time. We talk about life, we talk about social media, we talk about YouTube, we talk about Facebook, we talk about all of it. Every morning, every day. You want to wait?
Yeah.
She wants to wait. Hang on. What do you want to wait for? What do you want to wait for?
This.
What?
This.
There you go. I don't know what I'm wiping up. I'm wiping something up. Yeah, but there we go. Anyway, guys, that's it from us today. I really hope you enjoyed today's vlog. Please subscribe to our channel, guys. Please subscribe to our channel. Let's get our subscriber count going again. Going up. Not going again because it's doing quite well, thanks. But going up. And yeah, and that just leaves me to say, don't forget, guys, all of our links in the video description. I've totally forgot what I was supposed to say then. Totally. Don't forget all of our links in the video description. That's for our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're back on TikTok now. We're putting little TikToks on. And Patreon as well, if you want to go over to Patreon. We've got a nice little community over there. You can find all the links in the link tree and in the video description. And that just leaves me and Florence to say thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye. How did they know that?